Battlefield 6 has arrived on GeForce NOW, and I'm here to give you the overall experience playing it on GFN Ultimate. We'll be testing out the game on the 4080 and 5080 server blades so you know exactly what to expect. The game will be running on overkill settings, that means everything is absolutely maxed out at 4K resolution. For those interested in 240 FPS gameplay at 1440p, stay tuned to the channel as I will be reviewing that after I spend more time playing the multiplayer in that regard. But for now, let's stick to 4K, and I gotta say, it works fantastically. Let's start by taking a look at the 4080 gameplay running in multiplayer. As you can see, the FPS tends to hold up quite well. Even at maxed out settings, you're getting around 90 to 100 FPS in most cases. I will say that there are a few dips into the 80s, especially when there's a whole lot going on such as destruction elements and smoke, but in most cases you can expect around 90 or so. For comparison's sake, let's take a look at the 5080 gameplay in multiplayer. Here, you can actually see that it tends to stick around the 120 FPS mark, maybe a few dips between 110 to 120. Now when it comes to extreme examples, when there's a whole lot going on screen, I have seen a few dips down to the low hundreds, high 90s. But for the most part, the experience is incredibly smooth. Truthfully speaking, I wouldn't mind playing on either or server. Yes, I'd prefer the 5080 of course, but the 4080 is actually quite capable here. Now, if your aim is to have a consistent 120 FPS across the board at 4K, I think both the 4080 servers and 5080 servers are capable of doing so by adjusting the settings. Once again, I have everything maxed out and DLSS is set to quality. Just dropping that down to balanced would help a ton in that regard. More importantly though, how does the game feel? It runs well, but does it feel good? And there, I'm more than happy to say, yeah, it really does. I had no issue landing some snipes, and I had no problem holding my own in multiplayer. Genuinely speaking, I was incredibly impressed with the overall multiplayer experience, and I have no problem going back and saying that I'll probably be playing multiplayer through GFN again. It didn't feel like any sort of hindrance, and I'm pretty pumped about that. In terms of the campaign, once again, completely smooth experience, performance very similar to what you can expect out of multiplayer. As expected, the 5080 does perform better, but the 4080 is no slouch by any means. Now that you know about the performance and overall gameplay experience, let's talk about the visuals, and as you can tell, game's pretty. That's the simplest way to put it. Battlefield 6 looks like a visual feast, that's for sure. Nothing really beats those explosions happening all around you when you're just trying to run and survive and fend for your life. If you're capable of pushing 100 megabits per second, then you're gonna really enjoy the overall clarity that the GFN stream can provide, because genuinely, I had no issues with it. Even in wide open environments, I was pretty impressed at how well the stream kept up. That's something that's always been a bit of a concern for me in open world games, and while this isn't open world by any means, there are vast ranges of environments. It's surprisingly close to the local experience. Highly impressed on this front. The game does also have support for HDR10, so anyone with an HDR display is definitely in for a treat in that regard. Taking everything into consideration though, is it worth it to pick up Battlefield 6 on GeForce NOW Ultimate? Definitely. The game is one of the most hyped releases this year, and it is a great experience on the cloud. It's extremely impressive just how well the game runs on the cloud via GFN. So whether you're in it for the campaign or the multiplayer, the game's gonna run excellent and you're not gonna have any issues. Frankly speaking, I wouldn't hesitate at all if you're on the fence on whether or not to get the game. Now I do want to talk a bit about the launch of Battlefield 6 on GeForce NOW because it is a major game. Much like when Cyberpunk launched, it's bringing a ton of attention to the cloud because a lot of people don't have the capability of running the game they want to play, so people will check it out here. It's actually why I decided to showcase both the 4080 and the 5080 experience, because I expect some people to be getting 4080 servers instead of the 5080 they're expecting. This will of course be a temporary issue as it's just launch hype and everyone's trying to flood the servers at once. Expect some issues here and there. But I genuinely think it's a good thing for cloud gaming that these issues are happening, simply because a lot more people are willing to embrace cloud gaming as a whole. I'm still of the opinion that once you try cloud gaming at its absolute best, and if all conditions are met, it really does become a compelling experience, full of pros and cons when compared to other options like consoles or PCs out there. I'll tell you right now, the fact that I can play Battlefield 6 on my TV, PC, laptop, Chromebook, tablet, phone, and even my Steam Deck, it's a strong positive that I really think keeps bringing me back to the cloud, and it's one you should consider since you get all of that with only one copy of the game. Regardless, Battlefield 6's launch marks another major release for the cloud space, one that I'm sure is going to bring a ton of people to try it out. Do let me know if you happen to be watching this video and are one of those people who are interested in trying the cloud for the first time. Regardless, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, want more like it, subscribe to not miss out, and as always, this has been Steven from Anytime Anywhere Gaming, wishing you a great day, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.